Nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. That's been the consistent message from European leaders. But there are fears that Washington might be inclined to seek a peace deal with Russia without the say of Kyiv or Brussels. On Monday, the EU's Foreign Affairs Chief and top diplomat Kaja Kallas convened a meeting of the bloc's foreign ministers to discuss President Trump's upcoming summit with Russia's president. In a statement after the meeting, European leaders applauded the US president's efforts to try and end the war, but insisted that the people of Ukraine must have the freedom to decide their future. Washington has threatened to impose further sanctions on Moscow if it fails to reach a deal with Kyiv. But here in Europe, there are worries that the upcoming face-to-face meeting between the two leaders in Alaska could soften the US stance and leave Europe increasingly isolated and ill-equipped to support Ukraine without US backing.
There is still some hope that European leaders would be able to talk to Donald Trump and try to perhaps have the summit cancelled or reshaped in a form that will be more conducive to Ukrainian and European interests. But I think the deeper problem is that Europe has really kind of underinvested into Ukraine and into Ukrainian victory.
President Trump says that both Russia and Ukraine could be forced to make concessions and has suggested the idea of land swaps. It's an idea rejected by European leaders. In a statement, they reaffirmed their position that international borders must not be changed by force.
A land swap, at least at this stage, is a total non-starter for Ukraine. So, it may very well be that at the end of the day, that is where negotiations lead when we eventually have some sort of formal peace negotiation, but we are not there.
But the European stance is not unanimous. Hungary didn't sign the joint statement following the meeting of foreign ministers, with Prime Minister Viktor Orban saying that the bloc shouldn't set conditions for a meeting it's not invited to. Orban says dialogue with Russia is the best way to achieve a lasting peace. But Kyiv's European allies say more pressure on Moscow is needed to push them to the negotiating table. William Denselow, CNA, Brussels.